比起網上嘅碎片化資訊，我更加想讀多啲完整嘅一手文章，加上呢，想文筆更加進步，所以喺舊年開始讀多咗好多書。唔知道大家喺培養閱讀習慣方面有冇遇到障礙呢？想買書返嚟，或者已經買咗本書返嚟，揭唔夠幾頁就放埋一邊封塵啦。個心明明好想讀，但係個人始終唔聽話。今日嘅片呢，就想分享幾個可以睇更多書嘅小方法，一齊培養閱讀嘅好習慣啦。
Show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds. Because without you by my side, I would be stuck here on the ground. You're lighting up the way, I can see the road ahead of me. I won't be stumbling in the dark. Your eyes are shining like the stars. I was down until you saved me, until you set me free. My eyes were closed, now I see clear as day. And I just wanted to say that you can take me high. Feels like I can fly.
喺真正閱讀一本實體書之前，不妨試下由 podcast 同埋 audiobook 入手先。介紹好書嘅 podcast 通常會整理咗書嘅重點再講出嚟，用幾分鐘到10幾分鐘嘅時間了解咗本書嘅大致內容先。如果覺得好啱睇，先再去買都未遲。就算唔啱，嗰10幾分鐘都聽咗一啲知識落袋。至於 audiobook 就更加幫到冇辦法對文字集中嘅人，可以專心聽當然好啦。但如果好似我咁一路做其他唔使太用腦嘅事，一路聽，都係邁向閱讀嘅第一步。Apple Podcast 呢有好多免費嘅好書分享節目同埋有聲書，都有廣東話㗎。將要睇嘅書放喺屋企觸手可及嘅地方，最好係可以舒服閱讀嘅位置附近。一坐低喺嗰度呢，或者得閒見到，拎上手睇嘅機會就會多咗。如果收到喺書櫃啊、衣櫃啲最篤最入嘅位置，就真係永遠都不見天日㗎啦。以前成日抱怨冇時間睇書，而家要掌握每一日零碎嘅時間，無論嗰日個手袋有幾細都好。如果我預計到會有時間睇書，都會拎多個環保袋裝本書，最好係細本啲、輕身啲嘅。就算係之前睇過嘅都唔緊要，拎出去有時間有地方就睇，每日睇少少都好。最重要嘅係慢慢習慣每日讀一頁嘅節奏。最有讀書氣氛嘅場所之一，莫過於書店啦。去一間有好多書，俾好多書包圍，又有提供俾人閱讀嘅空間嘅書店，比起誘惑多多嘅屋企，就更加容易投入去嗰個閱讀嘅氣氛嗰度，好似誠品咁啊。去睇有咩書，坐低打下書釘，幾個鐘好快就過咗去啦。雖然喺呢條片嘅一開始講過唔想睇太多網上嘅碎片資訊，但係讀書係絕對可以用碎片化嘅方式去閱讀嘅。如果有本書佢冇咁有趣啦，又或者比較難去一口氣讀完嘅，唔使怕開多另外一本嚟睇喎，甚至同一時間讀緊幾本，有時讀下 A， 有時讀下 B 咁樣。用睇 Facebook、IG 嘅方法去睇書，冇咗要完成一本先可以開始另外一本嘅壓力，睇書嘅效率真係會提升㗎。喺我跳嚟跳去咁睇嘅時候，不經不覺就可以完成幾本書啦。閱讀應該可以令人放鬆同埋靜心落嚟接受完整嘅新資訊。 如果因為想培養自己讀多啲書而去強迫自己，咁成件事就會變咗質。用啱自己嘅步調同埋方法去建立讀書嘅習慣，就算一年淨係睇完一本書都好啊，都係一個好開始。